You know, and it brings up another thought as well, and that's like segmentation, right? And we tend to want to label people in certain ways for certain things, particularly as they relate to our businesses, right?
Yeah.
So whatever segmentation a company may put me in, that's what I'm at when I'm either on a buying or an inquiry about their brand, but I may be someone completely different.
You're so right.
Minute.
I have a funny story there. So for the longest time, because you used to be able to search and see what your profile was on the internet, and I was just to my chagrin, the internet for a long time thought I was a uh, a mom because I drive a minivan. I post a lot about my kids. I'm always talking about family stuff. And so I was portrayed as a minivan mom when actually I'm the exact opposite. So I think we've come way since then, but you're right. Exactly. We need to have the best relationships we can. And towards that, circling back to our original conversation, the Internet of Things, the ability to get listening done, information about customers at scale. I'll tell you, Medallia is another great example that's marrying customer call center data conversations with social listening to create a sort of early warning or early detection system out there in the wild so that brand or company leaders can have fast visibility into what's happening in any given market or product or service. They can respond proactively. And that data, Mark, those behavioral data cues, along with our customer profiles, creates the relevancy. And ultimately, it's not about a segment, right? It's about
Right.
what's best for us as consumers and how is this information tailor the world around us to be a happier place.
Excellent. We have a question here from Martin Schmidler, and
Hey,
Martin,
Mark.
would you like to come on and ask a question, or would you like me to just read it? Well, I can bring you on if you'd like. Just turn your camera on in your audio and ask your question if you'd like. Audio as well.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, Martin. Just I think your audio is not on as yet. Uh, well, I see you there. Make sure you get your audio working, but I'll ask the question since we're having a challenge there.
All
I
right.
may be on your microphone as well. So Martin's question is, what processes are in place to maintain and enrich your mastered customer data? So, how do you update and how do you enrich it and how do you bring in these other types of data like a voice or experiential data, voice of customer, behavioral, and or transactional?
Well, Martin, obviously not a softball question there. Thank you for that. Here's the answer that I would give you. Each company is at some phase of maturity models. I think that you can take a look at, for instance, the telecommunication industries, where they have a long legacy of building their network by acquisition and covering great geographies. You have many different kinds of systems in an organization like that. And how do you create one master record? So the answer there is I think you have to get smart about CRMs or data management platforms. You have to have a team dedicated to compliance and governance using that data. But at the end of the day, every company is going to be different. Large companies who have a big infrastructure face the biggest challenges. But what I do see is you have smaller, more new, nimble companies, small to medium sized businesses who have a central repository for their customer record. And learning from those companies how to scale is probably the safest roadmap to follow. I think at the larger companies, we often face a lot of integration challenges, third party middleware that syncs up customer data but protects each of these silos of data is one example. I would say there's a company called Pointillist. And what Pointillist does is can tap into your customer records and into your product records and actually follow the product or service journeys and your customer journeys and find where they intersect to deliver valuable operational intelligence. So there's a third-party AI light layer client that covers all the databases, or I would say, Martin, learning from a smaller company that's scaling up. And if you just need the easy answer, I would say call Salesforce.